Hello everyone, I'm Cameron Smith. I'm your instructor for Peoples and Cultures of North America. And this is a survey, essentially, of the origins and the local sort of adaptations of peoples of North America, Aboriginal peoples of North America through time. And we survey a great deal of the archaeological knowledge that indicates the first arrival of people to the New World. We look at where they came from, when did they come here first. So we'll look at a great deal of archaeological background to all of these people, and then we'll do sort of a survey of the peoples themselves, or how Native Americans are arranged and established today as living peoples. Our textbook is Ancient North America by Brian Fagan, the third edition, and this one has this one I like. It's particularly well illustrated, lots of good illustrations, and the technical archaeological material. A large part of my work in this class will be to sort of translate that material for you. That is, I will as you're going through and you're reading radiocarbon dates and various sequences in different places, Clovis and Folsom, these archaeological cultures and traditions, all of this, keep in mind that I will be synthesizing that material for you during the course. That's a large part of what I'm doing. But you can see, as I said, there are good pictures in the book that really help. I think all archaeology texts should have really good pictures, because a lot of archaeology is about artifacts, objects that we find, and of course, I shouldn't say it's about the objects. We use those objects to get to the cultures that produce those objects, the human beings that produced those things. But still, a lot of archaeology has to do with the analysis and interpretation of things that we find, for example, during archaeological field work. And so a large part of my job will be to translate some of the more technical material. And yet I know that not everybody is going into archaeology, but many of you have just an interest in the native peoples of North America. And our particular perspective in this class is their archaeological, their origins before the arrival of Europeans. Having said that, towards the end of the class, we will cover European arrival. The structure of the class is that we will read the book in chapters. It's something on the order of 2 chapters a week, which is not excessive. The chapters are, the writing is quite good. The chapters move pretty quickly. But there is sometimes a bit of organizational discord, I guess, in the book. The pictures are good, the writing is good, but it could be a little bit better organized sometimes. It can be a little bit confusing sometimes. Again, that's the kind of thing that I'll be clarifying for you. As we read through the book, I will occasionally put online in sort of a weekly readings folder. I'll occasionally be putting online a supplementary reading. It's not going to be long. It's not going to be, well, sometimes it'll be technical to give you a better feel for how we claim to know these things about the ancient world. Sometimes it will be an ethnographic account of something that people have observed about Native Americans. Sometimes, of course, it'll be Native Americans describing or talking about themselves. But there will be sometimes supplementary readings. You don't have to think about them. They'll be put online as PDFs that you can download for free. So that's not an extra cost. Each week we'll have a learning module, and these are basically concepts, ideas, sometimes hard facts that I'd like you to keep in mind or to retain at the end of the week. And each week you'll be doing a short essay, a summary that basically shows to me, aha, you've read the material, you've digested it a little bit, and you've sort of synthesized it into a general picture of what we're talking about. The Arctic colonization, for example, you might talk about the first people to arrive there, the kind of artifacts that are distinctive to those people, how they spread across the Arctic, very generally speaking. When did they begin? When did they have the whole Arctic colonized? And then maybe a few words about what those people are like today. They're still there. And you'll find, in fact, that there are living Native American people all throughout North America still. In addition to the readings from the book and then from the PDFs that I'll put online, again, the reading burden isn't tremendous. But I'll be occasionally putting online, well, every week I'll be putting online essentially a podcast or a small talk, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but recorded on this digital device that I will just put online as an MP3 file. And you can listen to that while you're doing the laundry or cooking dinner or something. Some people listen to it while they're going to work in the morning, on the bus, something like that, on an MP3 player. And you can listen to this, and again, it kind of synthesizes, it gives you exceptions to what's being said here. I might update information. We have new radiocarbon dates, for example, for all kinds of interesting things. I might talk about my own experiences with Native American people in our Department of Anthropology here and our connection with the Chinookan and other native people of the lower Columbia River. So the weekly podcast will once again, it will synthesize what I'm asking or hoping that you'll be learning, but it'll also have anecdotes and useful information to you from perspective of an archaeologist, a live archaeologist who's doing this material, rather than just reading it from a text. That's really what I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to sort of introduce myself. I used to do a lot of video clips like this. It's still a little bit clunky to do it, and I'm going to be traveling a bit. And in fact, I think, and some folks have said, in fact, some students have said that they actually prefer just a podcast that they can listen to and don't have to watch at the same time. So for this class, we'll be using these audio podcasts, and those will be, I think, a very important part of the class. Everybody in my online classes, I get good feedback from those. So I'm hoping that you'll enjoy them as well. I certainly enjoy making them. It's a very useful and instructive thing to me, in fact, to synthesize my own thoughts in a brief sort of summary. Like I said, some will be a little bit longer, some will shorter. I haven't really decided on time on them yet. Your weekly essays, you'll turn those into me online. You'll send it to me online. I'll make some comments and I'll send it back to you online. This is an online class, and sometimes people have asked, can we have sort of a chat session? Can we set up a board where people talk back and forth in a chat room? Unfortunately, that doesn't work. We have students from all around the country, sometimes outside of the country. Like I say, I'll be in England for a little while, and then I'll come back. But we have students all around the world. Getting the time zones and everything work together, that just doesn't work. It's not really amenable to an online course, even though it's an online session, chat session. But it really doesn't get everybody together. What does work, though, is a bulletin board where you can put questions. I'll answer them. Other students can answer them. You can talk about them back and forth. And I'm attentive to those questions, and I'll get right back to you on them just as soon as I can. So I'll set all of that up. This is Thursday or Wednesday. By Monday, when the class is up and running, you'll have the syllabus, the first assignment, which is your weekly essay, and then the reading material. I still have a decision or two to make about whether we're going to do a longer essay at the beginning, or sorry, at the middle of the class and one at the end, or whether we just spread out the grade through these 15 weekly essays. I have a different mind on those different approaches. Anyway, that'll all be in the syllabus, which I think you'll probably have looked at before you even look at this video. Anyway, I'm going to put this online now, or pretty soon here, and we'll get started. And I hope you enjoy the class as much as I do. North American prehistory, boy, it sure tells us a lot about humanity. It tells us